countdown of some kind. I this is how it normally goes. I fiddle with it until I see it pop up, and then I'm like, oh, okay, we are good to go.
Yeah.
So, perfect. Everything is awesome. And Aloha Manga Club, it is your boy, Lohali, signing in, literally less than a week and a half out from my wedding. And today we are joined by Jin, the normal co-host. How are you doing today, Jin?
What's up, guys?
And Highland Manga, calling in all the way from balmy Japan. How are you doing, Highland?
Konnichiwa. Hello.
Not expecting that one. I can appreciate that sign on. So how was your... Before we start this conversation in depth about manga, how long was the flight from Japan to or from Scotland to Japan?
So the whole journey was about 14 hours. We flew from Scotland to Amsterdam and then had about an hour wait, and then we flew an 11-hour flight to Osaka International, and then we had another hour or two travel. So it was a very long day. The travel day just took up a complete day almost.
So wait, I can go from Amsterdam all the way to Japan, but
yeah,
I can't.
It's crazy.
That's ridiculous. Like in America, I have to travel 4 states away on a plane. You have to make 6 stops.
You had to hit a major hub.
Yeah, you have to go from your airport to a major hub to another major hub to the other airport. It's ridiculous. They can't even route anything around.
I think it was really funny. So there's another podcast called Double Toasted that my brother used to watch, and him and a friend drove 3 hours to Memphis to hop on a plane there to fly to Texas. And I was like, it would have been a 4-hour drive from where you were going to back. Why did you drive 3 hours? They're like, oh, well, we cut off 2 hours. I was like, I can't even argue with that. Sure.
Yeah, but the cost of gas to drive back and forth would have been insane.
Exactly.
So, now that we're kind of knowing how far Japan is away from Amsterdam and Amsterdam from Scotland, how did you actually get started in collecting manga?
You know this story, but
of course I do.
I guess if people watching haven't, I feel like I came from it in a book lover's perspective. So I absolutely loved reading books my whole life. And then, growing up in Scotland in high school, no one was really watching anime. Definitely no one was reading manga. And then when I was 19, I actually met my boyfriend, who's now still my boyfriend. And I actually met him while he was sitting on his break at work watching Hunter x Hunter. And then I kind of was like, who's this weird? What's he watching? But then eventually we got chatting, and then he one night made me watch Full Metal Alchemist, and then from there I just absolutely fell in love with it. I just completely wasn't what I was expecting. I absolutely loved the the angry emojis and stuff like that. All the stuff that came from the manga. And then a couple of years later, I just couldn't really afford to start collecting all the manga and stuff because I knew how long the series were and how expensive it was. But then maybe the last year and a half, it was May 2018 was when I bought my first volume of Assassination Classroom Volume 1, and I just completely fell in love with it. And then it just completely is taken over my life. It's just so good. It's such an amazing medium. Just the whole collecting aspect of it as well. Finishing a series, that feeling, starting a new series, that kind of initial joy, starting a new world and things. It's just completely, just good taking over.
So, would you say you're more of a collector, or would you say that you're more of a manga lover? Because for me, there's a little bit of a difference. If you love manga, you're going to collect everything that you love. But if you're a collector, you're going out there to get series that you love or you think would look good on your shelf.
I'm a manga lover, but I'm also a stingy Scottish person. So if something's too expensive, I'm not going to buy it. I need to justify, the cost kind of aspect of it. So I want to maximize, what I can read with what money I have, kind of thing.
So you're exactly like me in the fact that I don't buy anything new unless it's specifically to prove a point. I can respect the daylights out of that.
I think I actually worked it out. I think I'm about maybe 2/3 I'll buy old, I'll buy second hand, and then a third I'll buy new, because I do obviously want to support the industry a bit, and new series that you just can't get used yet. I kind of get a bit impatient and want to pick them up just new. So yeah, it's always a dilemma I have. But most of the time, it's the money sense comes in because like I'm still a student, so I really don't earn that much money. So I'm like need to buy cheaply as I can.
So what are your thoughts on digital collecting then? Is that actually a collection or is that just reading digital manga?
Nah, I don't like. I can't read anything digital. Like I hate it. It's just like I can't read it on my phone, and like I can see the point of view where it's cheaper obviously to read it online, but to me obviously the whole license thing. I don't know if it could ever be taken away from me. Like I would always want to reread a series. So yeah, I just definitely not in like I'm not having no interest in digital manga at all. That's not how it was intended to be consumed. I don't think it was like the author drew it on paper, so we should read it from paper kind of mindset as well. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on it.
I can respect that. What about you, Jin? I know you're both a collector and a lover, but how do you feel about that digital manga? Is that a collection?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think you can really consider it too much of a collection because, I mean, it is a collection in the fact that you collected something, you're reading it, but then it's not a collection because I don't feel like there's any like physical representation, just like if you were going to play a card game or something online, you can get this stuff from it, or like we got the new game now, the Pokemon Masters game. It's like I can play it, I can say yeah I got this or whatever, but if it ever gets shut down or whatever, then I lose it all.
I can, and I'm of the same mindset. Like I don't own digital manga mainly because it's hard for me to like go back and like read it. If I want to read manga digitally, it has to be on my computer. It can't be on a tablet, or it has to be in book form. And since I'm not at my computer reading manga a whole lot, it doesn't make any sense for me to buy it. So I just love buying like the hard copies to have in my hand. And I'm definitely more of a collector. Like I love manga, but there are just some things that are like I'm driven to collect because I might not like them anymore, but I did when I was super duper young. So I'm weird like that.
Like Rave Master.
Hey,
after that.
I still love Rave Master. There's no use
I
to love
it as well. It's so good. It's like it's better than Fairy Tail.
Oh.
Maybe like the first 10 volumes.
So. I know you are, and it's amazing. This is my favorite thing to talk about with Jin, just rubbing his face in the manga that I own that he doesn't. But Rave Master is honestly such an amazing series. Like it was so dark. Something that Mashima didn't really try to touch on that much with Fairy Tail. And actually, this is a slight spoiler for my video that's going to be coming out on Monday, which is the top 10 anime deaths. Sydney said I couldn't include this since it was in manga only, but one of my top deaths was from one of the characters in Rave Master.
See, I like that. I like when they kill off characters.
And they leave.
I hate it in shonen when it's like they just need to learn how to take a pulse properly in shonen manga. It's like, especially One Piece. That is the thing I hate about One Piece the most. It's like, oh no, he's dead. Like, how is he still alive? It's like, obviously, like he's going to be alive because they're not going to kill off a main character.
Well, there was a time with Crocodile that was absolutely terrifying. Like with that first fight with Crocodile, I wasn't sure. I was like 10. Like now I'm like lies. Like which. The one person in Alabasta who should have died did not die. The singular person who should have exploded.
Should have died multiple times.
Like twice, at least twice. I was like, how do you come back from that? Like, you died once, you died twice. You should be dead. Oda, pull your head out your thing. Like, let somebody die. And then he did. And it was sad.
Oh, okay. See, that like piques my interest.
Wait, how far are you in One Piece?
I've read 1 to 23.
Not even close to where we're going to be at yet. Yeah, you've still got like 40 volumes.
Wait, when does Crocodile die?
Crocodile never dies. I'm not going to play this fake spoiler game, Jin. You know I'm not about that. So
I was almost like falling out with the Naruto author as well, because it was volume 2. We thought Sasuke, had died, and it dragged it out for like 2 or 3 like volumes. Oh, he's dead. Oh no! And I'm like, why is this guy people's favorite character if he dies in volume 2? And it's like, oh wait, he's still alive, of course.
Yeah. Naruto's bad. Bleach is almost worse.
Faking the deaths.
Not just faking the deaths. They're like, oh, they'll never get his powers back, and they get his powers back 4 times. I was like,
all the time.
Like, what do you? So what does your character do? Oh, he gets his powers back. What? That's not a superpower. Yes, it is. It totally is a superpower.
If he does it 4 times, then it's an ability now.
It is. I mean, I've eaten enough hamburgers in a row to count that as an ability. Like, if I was gonna have a stat sheet, I'd write down how many hamburgers I've eaten and how many burritos I've eaten. It's a record for me. Like, Jin would have how many manga he owns. I'd have how many burritos and hamburgers I've eaten. What would be on your stat sheet, I guess? What would your, like...
I just have to say, nobody else can get me into anything else. I have finally talked to Mike, and he's like, so how many Gunpla are you up to now? And I added up, and I'm like, 52. He's like, good God. And I was like, I know I bought 3 more. I'm at 55.
You're like, I might have lied to you. He's like, I might have lied.
They get addictive though.
It was like last year when Bazaar got me into Pops, and I had like 2 from people just giving them to me. And
the exact reason I'm never going to buy a single Pop, because that would become an obsession again. I would need them all.
You can't pop till you stop.
Buy one. Only anime.
I have most of the One Piece characters, and I think all of the, I might be missing 1 or 2, but all of the current My Hero Academia characters. It's pretty dope.
It does look really good on the shelf.
You know, there's another 8 that came out.
I know, that's why I said most, and then I thought about it, and I just kept going with my lie. It makes me feel better about not buying them.
Hey, I guess people realize my love for Pops, though, because when in one day I get on Twitter and 4 people message me, hey, I accidentally bought double Pops. Do you want one? I'm like, sure.
No one's ever bought double Pops and been like, hey, Lohali, do you want one? I was like, no, I'm okay. Yeah. The only time that somebody's messaged me and said, hey, I've got something double, it was Sydney when she said, hey, I spent double on my nails and it hurt my soul. Because it was with my card.
Oh.
And she was like, Brian, I just went and spent this. I was like, oh, are you sure? Or when I accidentally buy 2 of the same manga. That happens frequently. Even with my list.
That doesn't happen to me. What happens sometimes is I accidentally buy it in German. Like the second-hand book website I use a lot, Aid Books. It's like really small print at the bottom if it's in German or not. And I've had like 3 or 4 volumes of like Soul Eater or Assassination Classroom just come, and I'm like, oh, it's just in German. I'll need to wait a week for them to get a new one.
What do you do with the German volume then? Do you keep it or do you get rid of it?
I just have like 3 random German volumes on my shelf. I don't know what to do with them.
Sydney nearly bought me, so when she got me The Devil is a Part-Timer, she's like, there's like 2 volume 1s of The Devil is a Part-Timer and they're both different colors. I was like, open one of them up. One of them's probably a light novel, and she opened it up. She's like, oh, what do you know it is? Because she's talking to me on the phone. She's like, yeah, I was going to guess. I wasn't even going to bother opening it up. I was just going to buy you one. I was like, and I probably would have gotten the light novel. Because the other one was, one was...
You never read a light novel?
I have not. I've just watched the anime, and the anime... I love the anime. Like, the anime for Devil is Part-Timers was so much fun, and I was so sad there wasn't going to be a season 2. But I didn't actually know it was a light novel. I'm not going to lie. Until she said that there was 2 separate copies of Volume 1, that's when it clicked that it was.
That's like an interesting thing. This has given me a kind of dilemma myself, because like I would normally want to like consume the source material of a series. So like, but for example, Overlord, I've got the manga for that, and I love the manga. But I'm thinking, should I start reading the light novel? Because I've never read a light novel, and I feel like maybe this is the way that it was intended. And I'm just taking an adaptation, whereas maybe I would prefer the source material. So like, I'm going to start considering maybe reading a light novel.
Oh, so, hashtag trace it to the source. I had no clever hashtag. You should know that by now. But I don't know. I like consuming it in There's just certain things that I'll consume in one way and not the other. Like, I might never read the Demon Slayer manga because I'm watching the anime. Though Sydney's upset because we caught all the way up to episode 22, and she's like, "We're caught up? You let me catch up?" And she started she slapped me a little bit. I was like, "Ow!"
She's like,
Well, because get this: Seven Deadly Sins and My Hero Academia, 2 series which she likes a lot, are both coming out while we're in our honeymoon in California. I was like, "This is so sad."
can we?
There's nothing wrong with watching. There's nothing wrong with watching anime on holiday.
Oh,
We've been doing that as well. Although we've been having a hard time trying to watch anime because we went onto the Netflix and we got Netflix Japan, and it's like, all these amazing series. We have, Demon Slayer. We have, all the new series, Doctor Stone. But then they don't have English subtitles, and we're just like,
they have all that. That would be terrible. That would be terrible.
It's amazing, but they don't have English subtitles. And then I tried to get onto Crunchyroll, and it's just not available in your country.
Wait, what? Crunchyroll isn't available in Japan?
No, or Funimation. So I was like, can I go into my university's VPN, hack in just so I can watch anime on holiday? Is that allowed?
I think it is. I mean, legally that seems like it would be allowed, or illegally. I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was too scared to try in case they chucked me out.
Have you seen any commercials that you liked?
Oh, that's the important question.
The commercials here are so funny because you can't even understand them, but they're just over the top, ridiculous. There's this one that always comes on. It's got such a catchy jingle. It's for joint care or something, and then you just have all these old men coming and trying to sit on their the mats just to have a cup of tea, and then they're trying to sit down and they're in so much pain because of their bad joints, and then there's the catchy jingle, and then they a new lease of life when they have this ointment, and then they're cured and they can sit and have a cup of tea with their wife now. It's just fantastic.
See, all that I'm picturing now is just a random person in a costume running out with that a gigantic tube of it and just rubbing it over their bodies. That is that weird? That's how I'm picturing this commercial goes. It starts out super serial, they can't sit down, and just it goes it bursts into a loud random song. You see a guy running up with something that looks like a gigantic chapstick bottle and just slams him with it and runs away.
I wouldn't be surprised.
We watched one. My brother likes Girls' Generation. One of my other brothers, not Trey. And so he's like, "Oh, you gotta watch this video for it." I'm sitting there watching it. I'm like, "Oh wow, that was good." At the end of it, it's a freaking commercial for JCPenney's in Japan, and I'm like, "How did they make a music video into an advertisement?"
Easy. Japan is both creative and terrifying. They're both strict and not strict all at the same time.
Well, then we had a song come out here called, I think it's called Speed by Swedish House Mafia, and it's just techno, and it sounds really good. And then at the end of it, it's actually for Pinnacle Vodka, and I was like, really? You guys ruined this for me.
You're like, Japan has come over.
Starting to spread out.
And I know I kind of promised that we keep the traveling tour questions as few as we could, but I have to know, genuinely have to know, since you're in the depth of it right now, how is the food?
So we're not very adventurous when it comes to trying new food, but we tried the best ramen in the world. It's so good. It's an introvert ramen cafe we went to. So we didn't even need to speak to anyone. You literally walk in, you press a button on a vending machine, you sit in a little booth, and then you get a sheet and you circle your preferences, and then you put it into a wee hatch, and then 5 minutes later, delicious ramen is delivered to you. And it was so good. What else have we tried? We were literally live across from a 7-Eleven, and we're trying sushi and stuff like that. And mostly American burger places.
You don't go to Japan for...
Okay, give me something to try then, because we're both too scared to try things because we're not very adventurous.
Anything? You should try okonomiyaki and takoyaki.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to Hiroshima either today or tomorrow, I think, so we'll definitely try okonomiyaki.
And you should film it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not for everybody else, just film it for Jen, because Jen would love to watch this.
I've been
filming every day, actually.
Me and Pratty, I need to send you a picture of like our chat in Twitter. So our private chat to each other, we don't even talk anymore. It's, hey, I found a new food YouTuber or something that does that, and we'll send it to each other. That's our last like 30 messages to each other. Is new message. Click. Go check out this food person from Japan. Da 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 da.
I'm like I love chocolate, so like I'm all over all the chocolate snacks. Like was it mochi? It's like it's like frozen like chocolate frozen yogurt or something, or ice cream, and then in this kind of like uncooked batter, and it's just amazing. And like all the sweets are so good. Like we're just being children and just eating lots of sweets instead of actually going out for a proper meal.
Chocolate's a proper meal. It's got carbs, it's got fat, not a lot of protein, but it's a proper meal as long as you eat enough of it.
Especially from Japan.
Yeah.
All the snacks are so good. We're gonna like go to one really nice restaurant at one point and just try a proper meal. Just don't know what we order. Just try something really really different.
Well, there's some restaurants like that I've heard about that don't really like tourists to go to them. They're like, nah, this is just
it's really interesting that. Sorry.
They'll turn you away at the door if they don't like you.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard that. Yeah. You should
there's
go
not
to
a lot of English menus.
What is it called? I think it's called something steamed dumpling, and it's a lady with a cart, and everything she has on it is steamed in the little baskets, and you can go there, and it's kind of like the places with the sushi plates that go around the conveyor belt.
Yeah,
you pick it up, and you pay off of how many baskets you eat.
Oh yeah. We would definitely want to try something like that. Steamed buns. But like them.
Sorry.
Really?
I can't help it. I work in a restaurant. They just sound delicious. That's why I'm laughing. Not immature.
But it's interesting because you could walk down a street and you could miss so many restaurants because they just kind of blend in with the scenery, and they have like a curtain over it, and the windows are just kind of like shutters down. It looks, and it just looks shut, but really it's like a secret underground really good restaurant or something. But on the high street, like most of the restaurants are like that. So I think we need to get a bit clued up on which ones to check out.
You know what? Actually, I want you to try the like weird Japanese burgers from McDonald's. That's all that I want.
We've already tried one the first day.
What was it?
I had a chicken teriyaki actually. It was really really nice. But Stuart just had a double quarter pounder with cheese. But he said it was quite good.
The double quarter pounder with cheese. Pristine.
I know, soaking in the culture, eh? It was some weird ketchup. The ketchup tasted a bit funky. It wasn't Heinz ketchup, I'll tell you that.
That's depressing. Like, everyone knows that Heinz is the best ketchup.
Have you seen... They have them, and one of the channels I watch, Eric Surf 6, it's a mustard and ketchup packet. You poke something, and then you squeeze it together. And when you squeeze it puts mustard and ketchup out at the same time.
Ew! Why would you touch ketchup with horrific mustard?
What? How dare you insult custard? Or ketchup?
Custard.
Custard. It's ketchup and mustard. Or call it metchup if you want to be weird about it. But everyone knows it as custard. You mix ketchup and mustard together. It gives you the sweet from the ketchup with that tang from the mustard. It's perfect. Goes well with sweet potato fries.
I don't really like ketchup.
I don't know if I can be friends with you anymore, Jin. I need to find a new co-host, everybody. Jin does not like ketchup.
I do like ketchup on eggs, though. That's the one thing that everybody's like, that's weird.
That's not weird. I've done it.
I like ketchup on eggs. It's good.
You put ketchup on like scrambled eggs all the time. Yeah, cheese, scrambled eggs, a little bit,
Oh, my favorite is like a bagel and fried egg, and then ketchup round in.
See, I can respect that.
I think Pokemon ruined us all as kids because you kept seeing the omelet and you're like, what's that red stuff on the top? It's ketchup.
Yeah, but see, they really got me into jelly donuts as a kid. Pokemon just got me into jelly donuts. Just the worst pun ever.
Then Trigun's like, everybody's gonna get into donuts with this.
So
the bakery section in each shop is amazing here. Like I didn't know Japan was like known for or like had a big bakery section, but everything is so good. There's so many good like pastries and sweet treats and bread, and it's just like amazing.
You
Well,
might have to buy another suitcase and just load it full. Just...
Oh yeah, I'm already doing that. We've got all Gunplas and the manga and just general cack from Japan.
well, haven't you ever heard of the greatest Japanese anime of all time? Yakitate Japan.
No.
I have not unloaded that yet. I'm disgusted with myself.
I am absolutely disgusted. So Yakitate Japan is literally a manga dedicated to a boy trying to find the best recipe for bread to make it Japan, which means Japanese bread. It's a gag manga through and through. It's a shonen battle gag manga based around
That
bread
sounds
making.
good, actually. I would read that.
Oh, it's crazy. Sydney said it's like they put acid in the bread, and I was like, that's how bread's the best, when you put acid into it.
Oh god.
Maybe after I get done reading Hunter x Hunter.
Have you never read Yakite?
No. I've never read Hunter x Hunter either till recently.
I'm cool without the Hunter x Hunter. Like, Yakite, I would have thought you would have loved that thing.
We're getting there.
I'm just disappointed in Jin. So we're to the halfway point of our show, which means that it's time for me to ask you the most important manga question of the day. I know, right? Be prepared. Are you ready for this?
No, you're so what's the word? I don't know what to expect with you. Go for it.
All right. Good. That's how I'm supposed to be, I think, anyway. I'm not entirely sure.
You're
But
being intimidated.
what is the least... What is your least favorite manga that you have ever read? I mean, all the way through. I don't mean you just stopped at chapter 1.
Yeah, I research like series a lot before I buy them. So when I buy them, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna not hate it. But I've only ever dropped 2 series that I've started collecting. One was Cage of Eden. I didn't really like it. It was full of fan service, and I heard it was going to be like Lost, and I love Lost. I was so excited, and then it was just like, this is just too confusing, and there's just tits everywhere.
There are a lot of tits, yeah.
Yeah, which I don't mind. Like, I don't mind tits. But like, just, the story kind of needs to, still have substance like around that as well.
Yeah, not much substance in that story.
And then the second one I dropped was Soul Eater. I just couldn't get into the manga for it for some reason. Like, it didn't click with me.
Interesting. I think you just hurt Jin a little bit.
Sorry. I already insulted on the shelf when I said this on Alonzi's podcast.
Yeah. I'm so upset.
Like, it's interesting. I keep saying I like the anime better for Soul Eater, but I keep getting to the same point in both, and I just can't get past it. It's like when what's it called, a Kenshin, or the thing that's like in the tower or something. They keep going to go into that and see it, and then I just keep not caring what goes on after that.
You're like, I'm done.
Yeah,
I've reached my point of being
done.
I understand both of those, though, because, with both of those, I actually had to take breaks from them because I was like, I can't do this right now. I can't read this. Let me put this away. And then I'd go back to it, and I'd read like 2 more, and I'd hit the same wall. And then finally, I got done with Cage of Eden, and I was like, why couldn't you have, like, gotten to this point like 10 volumes ago? Like, this would have been a great stopping point.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel better than that I dropped it.
Cage of Eden is hard to get into. I read it all the way through. Like, I can't remember. I got to like the halfway, maybe 3/4 point, and then I dropped it, and I was like, man, I can't do this anymore. And then I picked it up one more time after the series had ended, and I just pushed through it. Like, I was like, I gotta get this done. Like, I gotta read this.
So you, obviously the collector in you, didn't want to drop it, so you were like determined to keep collecting the manga. Is that something that you struggle with? Well, not struggle, but is that something that you always have in the back of your mind?
Yes, if I start collecting, part of me is like, I gotta finish this series. No matter what happens, the series has to be completed.
I'm more like, there was a reason why I picked this up.
Yeah.
I saw it. There was something that drew me to it. I need to.
I know, but then like when you're 20 volumes in, kind of the reason is just.
Usually by the end of it, I'm pretty happy. I mean, there's been some great series I've read too, and then the ending just sucked, and I was like, oh, this was like a 5-star manga for me, and it dropped it to a 2-star. I mean, ending and the travel there is all a big thing when it comes to it. And you know, if there's certain things, I would have said Cage of Eden was a 3, and with the ending, it bumped it up to a 4 for me.
And that's out of 25.
It was never anything that I saw coming, and all this other stuff. And at the end of it, I was like, no way.
Yeah, that ending was actually surprisingly good for what the entire manga was.
Right. And you could tell that the person, kind of like Oda does, like, you're kind of like, oh, well, I don't know how you're going to end this. There's no way you can end this in a good way. And then the person pulls all these old strings that you were like, oh, yeah, I know there's creatures on the island. I know this. And they pull all of it. And then you're like, I see how they did that. That's pretty cool.
See, now that you're comparing the author to a worse version of Oda, I can actually agree to that a little bit. Like, they laid out some plot threads, or they had some things that they thought were going to be plot threads or didn't know, and they just like went back and read the series like, and we're going to end it right there. This is how we're going to end it, and pulled them all together.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad. Yeah, there's not a lot of series that I've actively dropped. There's series that I've forgotten about, and then I'm just like, I go back and try to reread it.
I think I'm at the stage where I've only been collecting for like a year and a half, so there's so many series I want to get. So it's about prioritizing, and it's about having to drop things that just aren't doing it for me. When there's a whole world out there that I'm still to explore, so I need to just like, there's things I'll enjoy more than that. So letting go.
So what's your like number one goal right now? What is the number one thing that you have to collect?
Well, because I made that Gundam, I'm really wanting to get those the vertical Mobile Suit Gundam, the Origins. That's going to be up there when I get back. And also, I'm going to the Tezuka Museum this weekend, and I started reading. I haven't read anything by him, but I actually downloaded Dust 8, one of his works, and it's so good. It's absolutely amazing. I didn't expect to love his work so much, so I'm definitely going to pick up the ones that I can at least get on Amazon from Tezuka. Also, sorry, I have a list. I know exactly what I'm going to buy as soon as I come back. Also, I need to get caught up to Attack on Titan, because I went to the final exhibit, and literally we paid like £40 to go in and get completely spoiled for like the last series of the anime, I guess. So like volumes 20 plus in the manga, and I've only read to volume 20, so I literally went in like, oh, they all die, and this series looks amazing, so I need to get caught up on that.
You're like, oh no.
I know,
this is both the greatest money that I've ever spent and the worst.
But it was still a fantastic exhibition. Like there was an interview with the author, and he says he's basically got in his mind how the final panel basically of Attack on Titan. So now it's just about and he feels like he's brought his audience along too long now. He's kind of dragging it out, so he knows that he wants to finish it all up now. And it just looks so cool.
Man, I don't know. Everyone's posting on Twitter right now like, oh my god, that new chapter of Attack on Titan. I'm just sitting here going, actually, you know what? I lied. There is one manga that I have dropped.
Oh.
I know.
Go see it.
I'm going to. I did drop Attack on Titan.
Disappointed.
You're sick.
How am I the bad person here?
Don't say because of the art, because I'll fight you and I'll fight you on the shelf.
No, it's not. Well, part of it's because of the art. Like, I don't like the art bothers me, but that's not the biggest problem. If that bothered me, I wouldn't have read Claymore, and I would have never read Angel Densetsu, because I'm not gonna lie, Angel Densetsu has some absolutely atrocious artwork. But what actually really bothers me the most is those first few chapters, for volumes, I literally read like the first 10 to 15 volumes, and I just couldn't do it. I didn't like Eren. The story buildup was okay-ish, and I just couldn't. Like, I can do some gore and some action, but it felt to me at that point in time, it wasn't about the story, it was about just a way to get gore across to the audience and just being as shocking as possible. It was like the Game of Thrones of manga.
Yeah, I can see that. It gets very political as well.
Like, I didn't even get to the political part. I got to the point where I was like, literally everyone's being eaten. Like,
and I think for the part you're talking about, you literally consume those volumes in like 10 minutes, because it's just pictures. Like it's just gore and action. So you kind of aren't getting your money's worth in reading them. That's what I thought.
And I love action. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love action. One Piece is one of my favorites. Like, you look at my shelves. my shelves are like all action, but when it feels like you're disregarding the story to show people just being bitten in half and like half their faces and things like that, I was just like, I dropped Attack on Titan, and I actually started reading it slightly, like right around when it was starting to get popular is when I picked it up. I'm not sure if I read it before then, but I know it was right around that time. And I also dropped Gantz. I just couldn't do Gantz.
That's one I'm planning on picking up quite soon as well. And the 3-in-1s, the omnibuses.
It just, there were some problems. There were some other problems with Gantz that I'm not going to get into per se, but it just wasn't a series that was for me. I know a lot of people really, really enjoyed it. It's just one of those things that I read and I was like, I'm not impressed.
I think maybe because you're more of a shonen guy rather than seinen.
Well, except for, I mean, Monster is amazing. Like, Pluto is great. 20th Century Boys. Like, I love a fair amount of seinen. It's just, I just couldn't get behind some of it. I was just like I said, Gantz, there was just so much. I'm trying not to ruin anything. There's just some things that I was like, we're supposed to like this guy and root for him to make it to the end, and he's an absolutely terrible person.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, I don't want somebody to be painted, and that's part of. I don't like people being painted as a protagonist, as like a hero, when they're not even an anti-hero. They're just, what the heck? So we are having a problem right now. I hope you can all still hear me. I don't know why that call has ended. We can go back and try to recall that. We have 20 minutes left. Small break. It's okay. I don't think I ended that call. Oh no. Oh no. It's not letting me join back in. It's my own. Okay. Alright. We're back.
No.
I don't know what happened. I just somehow got. I got kicked off of my own call.
Peter talk.
They were like,
we're both sitting here like, maybe it was Smokey.
Nope. Like, I don't know what happened. It just said this call has ended from my end. I was like,
I didn't do anything.
what? I'm back.
What did I touch?
I'm trying to remember where I was at in that rant. I'm not going to go back into that rant because apparently my computer doesn't want me to say anything negative about
watching
Attack on Titan. My FBI agent is upset.
Maybe it was because you chose not to say something negative about it. It's like, just say it. I don't agree with you. Say it. Click.
Oh man. Whew, the screen was definitely black, but it is now fixed. I'm not going to say anything bad about Gantz because apparently I got hacked. But have you gotten to watch any of Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer yet?
I haven't actually, but do you know it's actually advertised a lot in Japan? There's posters up all over the place for it, and I actually saw people cosplaying it just walking down the street the other day as well.
Really?
No, it's one I'm not at, like, because I'm not really into collecting series that are ongoing. So it's a manga that it's like stored in a little section of my brain. It's like I will collect that when it's finished. So yeah, I'll probably just get into that once it's a couple of more volumes in. I heard.
What manga is it though?
Demon Slayer.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't hear what you said.
You used the Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Japanese term.
The Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Kimetsu no Yaiba. Amaskio Jays, even though he's not watching, he was a huge champion for Kimetsu no Yaiba, along with Fire Force.
It's so interesting that it takes how much impact anime has on a manga series.
It's so popular, though. I will say that the anime, I liked episode 19, but it wasn't the greatest episode of anime that I've seen this year.
Everyone's saying that, isn't it? They're saying it's the greatest episode of all time and things.
I watched it and I was like, it's good, but bruh, there are so, like, I'm sorry to say it, Mob Psycho Season 2 had some of the best episodes I have ever seen from any anime ever. Like, hands down, Mob Psycho Season 2 is my favorite season of anime. Really? Yeah, I'm not afraid to say it.
Have you read the manga for it?
I have not. I just watched the anime because I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. I don't like one's art style.
fair enough. That's the series I'm going to buy eventually as well. And a couple more volumes come out.
And you know what? It could, like, episode 19 could have been the greatest episode of anime for a lot of people. Just like I said, for me, I just didn't have that same emotional connection to it. There was just something that I just couldn't feel. Like, I was holding myself back and going, oh no, Lohali. It's good, but it's not amazing. Like, there was one scene in there I was like, okay, that's a pretty dope scene.
I feel that way with a lot of stuff, though.
You know, all of your 12 billion manga.
Hey, man.
And by the way, OJ is in the chat.
Sometimes when you're reading manga, you can't make choices like that.
You can totally make choices like that. I can absolutely
make choices like that.
I can sit down and I can tell you my top 5 favorite arcs in shonen. Like, I can't tell you my favorite shonen manga, but I can tell you some of my favorite arcs.
Which that makes me think too. Did I already put them away? No, they're right here. So this is one. Spoilers. I read this. Right. This is the Kakegurui series.
Isn't that the gambling high school girl one?
Yes. Where is it? So I was sitting here looking at them when I was talking about it, and I realized. So this is volume 7, and this is volume 8. But look at this. If I turn volume 7 over.
Ooh.
And then here's volume 4, 5. And 3.
We're about to get really confused. Oh no. Bang, bang.
Yeah, I like stuff like this. This makes me want to look into
like,
it and even collect it. So I can do it.
Like, I wonder if these are supposed to technically be arcs. You know, how it's broken up.
That'd actually be really interesting.
Because, you know, that's how Flowers of Evil kind of does it, is they have basically 4 arcs.
Huh.
Because they change their arcs.
The covers get crazily different, don't they?
To what?
Apparently...
Did we go again?
No, apparently Flip is threatening to come to my wedding dressed as a Titan because I dropped the series.
Excuse me,
That's
sir.
a very strange mental image I have in my head now.
It's okay. I had that literally right as he's entered like what that meant. I was typing that out too, and I was like, "Dang it!" I was like, "I'd be okay with that. He can show up."
Excuse me, sir. Titans don't have genitalia, so you could not come as a Titan.
As far as we know, I mean,
we do know that.
Are you sure?
Are
you sure?
Yeah, Titans don't have genitalia. What are you talking about?
Maybe they're wearing underwear. Did you ever think about that? Maybe they're wearing skin tight leather pants. Like,
there is no skin tight leather pants.
You 100% sure?
Yes.
That just seems like a terrible evolution flaw.
Oh, believe me, it was.
Also, I'm about to dive into my very first female protagonist shonen in Komi Can't Communicate. I think she's the protagonist. Is she Jin?
I don't know that, but yeah.
How do you not own that?
I had to cut stuff off my list because I wasn't going to be able to afford anything.
So disappointed in you. You're supposed to own everything, which means that now I own another series that you don't own.
Yeah, but this one I'm not so upset about.
What about Kaiju Girl Carmelese? It's my first Monster Girl, Jin.
Dude.
Okay.
You
own that one?
Damn it. No. Yes. So when I knew that I was getting the Manga Spice box, I was like, yes, I'm finally going to get that. And then I did my review and I was like, I already have some of these. Dang it. Because I already have the 2 that came with mine. And then I saw yours where you got one and I was like, oh, we'll probably get the same box. And you pull out the little poster, I'm like, this is not the same box. You pull out the manga, and I'm like,
You're like, that was...
Lee got my box. This was supposed to be Lee's box.
Which, apparently, like, it makes sense to get the Manga Spice Cafe here in the United States because it's based in the United States. But for all of you overseas, it's not quite as cost effective because it's like $20 for shipping.
Yeah, I had a look at that actually. I was wondering if I would, because there was one box they released that had like the skull, that bookseller that I thought would be quite a good one to buy. And then I just looked at it and I just could not justify it. Also, like, is it normally like a lucky dip then? Like,
kind of.
Is it random? Like that to me, that is just like against. It's like I plan all my money and stuff. It's just like to just put money to randomly what am I going to get? I'm like, oh, we need to put it in the series that we know that we want.
My problem looking at it was, especially when I got that one to review, is like I already had all the manga except for the weird Pokemon one that I got. And I was
I see. That's kind of like a waste, isn't it?
So I was kind of like, I could justify getting like the Japanese crate, but I can't really justify getting that unless I'm going to do giveaways for all the books that I get from it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can agree to that. That's, I mean,
it would be really good for like diversifying your collection. Like if you're literally given something that you wouldn't normally pick up in the store, just to like, try out in your series, which I feel like that's what it's doing for you, Lohili, with the what's that Dreaming Star one.
Yeah. Well, Jen Graves already has everything at the store.
Oh well.
Jen, you own the store. Like, you can start selling your manga and probably make a hefty profit to buy more manga to sell to make an even better profit.
Oh, I know.
Like, I'm surprised publishers aren't contacting you going, hey man, you need to stop buying things. Like, leave some for everybody else.
Stop buying that manga from me, please.
Stop spending your money on us. Go somewhere else, bro. So we only have 12 minutes left, and we haven't really touched on any really deep subjects other than what's the best food in Japan. And that's apparently the McDonald's.
No, that's not my final answer. I still have a week left. So I'll be more adventurous in the second week, okay?
I'm going to laugh when you come back and go, man, that teriyaki chicken, though, still talking about it.
It was really good.
I'm going to laugh whenever you come back and go, still, the only best place was McDonald's.
That's exactly it. So, in these last couple minutes, I want to get just a little bit deeper. Recently, you made a video about depression and anime, and you really put yourself out there for the community, and you started a really, really good discussion. And I think I said this on one of my other episodes or shows, or I was talking to somebody, and you created a video that I think needed to be made, and I'm jealous of the video that you made. Not so much in the fact that I'm jealous that you had the courage to put yourself out there like that. And so, first of all, thank you for doing that. Like, it was that there's not much that we can say other than thank you for putting that video out there.
Yeah, it was honestly really terrifying. It was like making it was fine. Like editing it was like I was just like crying at myself, and then like I showed my boyfriend it because I was like, do you think is this oversharing? And then he was crying, and we were both just crying together. And then I sent it to like the good friends I've made, Alonzi and on the shelf and Uchu's shelf, just to kind of like, okay, like do you think I should share it? And they were like, oh, this is amazing, so important. And then I like put it out, and then like I was all on automatically. I was like, I've made a huge mistake, and I just like went into bed, and I was just like, what have I done? And I was like, oh. But then after like a few hours, and like all the amazing comments I received on it, like was just like made it so worth it. Like just like a couple of people just saying that they could relate to it, and that like, okay, maybe I should go and speak to someone about this stuff. Like that meant so much to me because like it was like I needed so much of a push to do it myself. So like the fact that my video could influence someone to go and talk about it sooner, and hopefully, start making them feel a bit better. That was made it all worth it, definitely.
I mean, like I said before the chat, like before the call, even like, just the fact that you made that video, and the fact that you might have made somebody's life just a little bit better. That's why we create, is to make somebody's life better. And I think that you've probably, with that singular video, could have done something bigger than what I've gotten to do, just with your blatant honesty, with the emotions, that rawness, that realness that you put out there. Like, so again, I can't say thank you enough. I can't sing the praises of the video enough. If you guys have not watched it, go check out Highland Manga's videos. I believe the title, I'm terrible with remembering titles.
I think it went a bit over the top. It was like Manga Saved My Life.
Yeah, Manga Saved My Life. Yeah, it's
a bit ridiculous, but it essentially is true. So like, I was like,
it's not ridiculous if it's true, and that's a great thing.
It's just so important. Like, I'm just so thankful that I managed to find something like this that could just, it just be that little thing that was just make each day a little bit better. Like, that's what it is to me, and that's what makes life a little bit better overall, stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just happy I found it.
Right. You found any more good quotes or anything that you liked?
I haven't had a look yet, but it's like one of those ones that's like, when you made your response as well, I was so it meant so much to me that you as well, Jin, could be so honest about it. It's really, really hard to put yourself out, and I can't believe you did it live. And I was like, this guy is like, got some courage to do this. But yes, those quotes that you sent, that's definitely like rainy day stuff. Just kind of, pick yourself up if you're feeling a bit down. It's really important.
That's why I have both my cat and my dog. When I feel down, I just snuggle with them. And I guess Sydney. I guess she's asleep. She can't hear me saying this thing.
Oh, I was like, so. I bet she's staring bullets at you right now.
Nope, she's asleep. She can't hear a single thing that I'm saying, which means that I can say, "You're a nose." Oh, she's flipping me off. Never mind, she's awake. She's giving me that good old American middle finger. Thank you. I love you too.
Yeah, I don't know, my boyfriend's still asleep, but we have like these, like, the sliding doors like between us. He's just having it. Either he's listening to every word I'm saying, or he's still having a nap.
I'd be still having a nap. Not gonna lie. I'd still be conked out.
Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock here now, so we need to get up. We need to go out and explore and try some okonomiyaki.
Yeah, you need to go have some breakfast.
Yeah, I've just been eating like chocolate cereal.
Oh my god. Not judging you.
It's so good.
I'm not judging you for sure. Just a little bit of judging. So what videos do you kind of have coming out in the near future? Anything that's going to be touching on any emotional levels like that?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I kind of want to have that brutal kind of honesty, like, just in my kind of wrap-ups. Just, I'll if something, I don't know, if 1 week I've not been feeling so good and this specific series has, made my day better and stuff, I'll say that just kind of as I'm going along. But I mean, that's something I could do in the future, definitely, if people like that. It's one of these things that's like, it's really hard to talk about mental health and stuff, but like, once you start, you kind of can't stop. Like, it's really therapeutic to me to talk about it and to be honest. Like, that video has benefited me as well as hopefully other people. So it's like, you just can't you probably won't be able to shut me up about it now. I'll just be oversharing.
Dang it, how dare we not be able to stop you from talking? That sounds like the worst.
I thought it was really good because, I kind of touched on some of that stuff, like in my Dr. Manga video. Because there's, being in this position, I've gotten to talk to people.
We're back.
Like, manga helps me with insomnia, depression, like all this other stuff.
Insomnia is a big one, definitely.
Yeah, and they were like, manga helped me get over that, different stuff like that. So that was kind of what I touched on that. But then with the one I made for you, I got to be more real about it. Wasn't just something that I scheduled.
Insomnia, this is another one why I try and get into digital manga, because I always read manga before bed, like religiously. Like, I can't sleep with it reading like for at least half an hour or something before bed. But like, if I have my phone, then it's like the screen or like notifications will come up, and it's not the same experience at all. Like, I need to just have book in hand, light, phone away, and it's just like, forget about all the bad stuff, and you're just like, you just want to fall asleep, you just want to enjoy a nice story, then you just want to fall asleep and then wake up again tomorrow. That's like, yeah, I guess that's why physical is always better. Don't know.
I don't know. I can agree to that. Yeah, like, just reading it with that bright blue screen, like, throwing light at you is absolutely annoying and just radically terrible. Sorry, by the way, I was sneezing a lot. I'm not sure if those are coughs or sneezes, but they're one thing and they hurt.
Oh,
A lot. My whole body like tenses up. Like it's bad.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Oh,
If I sneeze, that's why you never see me sneeze. Because if I ever sneeze, it's like a freaking cannon going off. And sometimes you can hear my whole spinal cord start going pop, 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 pop.
okay, but that has to feel good though.
Spinal cord part, yes. My nose feeling like I just blew it off. No.
How terrifying would that be if you sneezed so hard you blew your nose off?
Man, I've sneezed so hard that I made my nose bleed.
Jesus.
That was kind of frightening.
I'm just picturing this. Oh! Oh no, I'm gonna die. This is how I die.
Right. Tell my tale, please.
Whew. So, we're in the final 4 minutes. We're gonna wrap this up because I know you're gonna go out and explore. But we're gonna do a few things. What?
I have one question first.
Oh no.
So, how was like your first real live stream?
Oh, it's good. It's absolutely flown by, actually.
Right? Like I said,
It's
that's
just, yeah, it's so chill. It's just like I'm just like I said before, I'm so nervous before these things. Like the camera is like it's a different thing. I kind of just imagine talking to like people I know, like you guys, or maybe like a boyfriend, or like Alonzi and stuff like that. I'll just pretend I'm talking to them. They're behind the camera. I'm just having a chill conversation. But like a live stream, I'm just like my heart was beating really fast, and then like I was eating my cereal. I was feeling, when you feel anxious and you just feel unwell. Like I'm just like I'm such a nervous person. I just get so like worried about everything. But it's been fun. Yeah. Good.
I told you before we started, didn't I?
Right.
Yeah.
So, first of all, you need to answer the random question of the week.
This is what I was nervous
No,
about.
what is
Go for
this
it.
going to be?
Usually, it's what is your spirit animal or what's your favorite food, things like that. But this week, I want to take it one step further.
Yeah.
What is your dream vacation?
I'm on it.
You're
Easy.
on it. Okay, so then what's your next dream vacation? Can't cheat me from this one.
Coming back.
What do I think?
Oh man.
The first
Jin.
thing that comes to my mind is like to go to not maybe like all the space centers and stuff in America. Because I've never like this is my first time out of Europe, so like I would want to do something really nerdy and like go and see NASA or something like that. But then honestly, this is my dream vacation. Literally surrounded by manga readers every day. It's just been absolutely amazing. Like see the International Manga Museum. I wanted to spend the whole week there. There's like a huge English manga library. You pay like £7 to get in all day, unlimited reading. All these exhibits and stuff like that. And then there's the whole room. It's just people like sitting in random places throughout the whole building, just reading manga. Like everyone's reading manga. It's like I just feel so like at home here. It's so amazing.
All right. That sounds like a good vacation, though.
Yeah, it's good. Although but Stuart's not letting me spend every day at the manga museum though. He says we have to go outside and do other things.
You're like, no, just leave me at the museum for £7 a day.
Yeah, be quite happy.
I could see it. You get a job there, and you're like, you have to go home, and you're like, no.
I don't know. Can I take them with
Just let
me?
me stay.
All right,
Yeah.
Jin, what about you? What's your dream vacation?
Oh, man. I don't know. I guess just traveling everywhere. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Europe. I want to go everywhere else in the U.S., which I've been to like 25 of the states at least. So I don't know. Just like a lot.
Your dream vacation is every vacation.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mine is...
I mean, especially finding, my friends and stuff on YouTube, that would probably be a great vacation.
Yeah, that would be so good. I'm so up for this if it ever happens. A big manga tube meetup.
Hello? Yeah, I'm down the street at, I can't read the sign for this pub.
You can read they're in English. You can read the signs for the pubs. Good lord, man.
Hey, some old pubs don't change their signs.
Yeah, just say the really old pub down the street, and you're like, oh yeah, I know which one that is. Like my dream...
Which pub is that? There's 12 of them.
See, mine is my dream vacation. It used to be like super not cliche, and then it became a very popular tourist destination. I want to go to Ireland to actually see the farms, and I was joking with you on our Twitter chat about this, kind of not really a joke, but go see the McLaughlin and the McCusker family farms that we actually still have the locations for, that my family abandoned during the Great Potato Famine. I also want to go tour I want to go tour Guinness and like try actual real Guinness, because American Guinness is just like from what I've heard, like people who go over there, they're like Irish, like the real Irish like stouts are primo. Like I drink Guinness like it's water. Like
it's so good. You do the tour of the brewery and then you go up to like the 10th floor and it's like a sky bar and you see all of Dublin. It's like amazing views, and then you just get a penny Guinness.
See, I'd love to do that, but then now it's such like I've wanted to do this since I was like 3 or 4. Since my grandma was like, "Hey, we're Irish. Like, celebrate your Irish history." I wanted to do it. And now everyone's like, "Let's go to Ireland. It's super popular." And so I look like a hipster yet again.
We gotta go kiss the Blarney Stone.
Nope, never gonna kiss the Blarney Stone. Nope.
Oh God, no! Don't kiss the Blarney Stone.
Do not kiss the Blarney Stone. Do not like think. First, there's 2 reasons for that. One, think of how many people have kissed the Blarney Stone.
Right.
A lot of people. And 2, there was a rumor flying around, and I can't say whether or not this is true, that every now and then it was a goal of some of the local kids to go break in and pee on the Blarney Stone.
Unsuspecting tourists would come along and
kiss the Blarney Stone after urination had happened, and you're like, "Oh, it must just be moisture." No, moisture does not taste salty and yellow. It is. I was like, "That's what that is." But like, I'd like to do an actual tour of like Ireland. Like,
but if you're in Ireland, you might as well come to Scotland as well.
Well, yeah,
an hour, like
of
50
course.
minutes. Like,
I'd go to Scotland. I'd go to Ireland.
Go where?
Scotland.
So
where's
you
that?
go get married.
I don't know. It's up somewhere south.
You go get married, and then after I get married in February, we'll plan a backpack trip next year. You know, towards the end of it. And we'll go for a month.
We're gonna go see the Highlands. We're gonna go see the Giant's Causeway. We're definitely gonna skip over England though, because no one likes England. There's no one cool there. It's not.
Right.
Like all the good food is like in Ireland and Scotland, and like all of those places. Also, sorry, I do say Scotland really weird. It's like it's ridiculous.
It hurts me.
It does, and I apologize. I also say Missouri. I don't say like Missouri, like it's Missouri. Yeah, it's the state that I'm in. Like I say a lot of things weird. I used to have a speech impediment as a kid, so there are like some words that I have to like say weird. Otherwise, I say them with like a lisp.
But it's weird because people really do say that though.
Yeah, it's like Missouri, wrestling. I don't say caramel. Caramel, it actually hurts my mouth to say caramel. I say caramel. Like it's a softer sound, like caramel. Yeah, there's just certain words that I say that I'm like, I know that that's not right. Because technically,
I'm a horrible human being. I take those words and I don't even say them. I'll change it like caramel or caramel. I go caramelly.
You're the worst.
And people are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, the candy. They're like, I'm joking with you.
But anyway, we are going to finish up the show here. So, Highland, what do you have coming out? What videos are we going to watch out for? And tell everyone where to find you. Yeah,
so I've been filming a little bit every day. I've been focusing on all the manga sites. Just like manga shopping in Japan and just all the stuff I've been up to. There's going to be an epic, I think it's going to be like an hour-long Japan for manga lovers vlog style video coming out as soon as I get home. I've realised I've forgotten the cable to my camera, so I can't even edit it here or on the plane, so it's going to be like, I don't know, a week or two's time. But so it's just on Highland Manga on YouTube. I'm also Highland Manga on Twitter and Instagram, if you want spam with holiday pictures as well. So, yeah.
And Jin, what do you have coming up?
I am working on the collection video. I am working on a pop collection video, a Gunpla collection video, a manga collection video. What projects am I not working on? That's the real question. That is the real question.
That's a hard question, isn't it?
Right. So, and then of course I have the whenever we finally get all the way moved and I get this room looking really good, we have the transition video and the room tour video at some point.
Awesome.
I'm pretty okay with that. And then I guess for myself, there is going to be, again, I'm holding off on doing 3 videos a week for right now, just because with all the wedding stuff, I don't have the time, and I feel absolutely terrible.
It's fine. It's a kind of important thing in your life, right? Maybe
And-
you should take a time off, yeah.
And the wedding's not that important.
I see him. I'm waiting for a shoe to come on screen and just hit you in the face.
That's why I was looking. I was like, we'll see if she throws something at me. No, the wedding is super important. I'm super excited for it. But I can say that my video coming out on Monday is going to be absolutely something that I've never done before, and I'm looking forward to it. Like, I've done it before, but I haven't done it in the style that I'm about to do, and I've gotten a lot of help from a friend of mine in getting advice on how to make this, so I'm pretty pumped. Hopefully it'll be a good project, and hopefully y'all enjoy it. You know where to find me. Highland, thank you so much for coming on this week. We appreciate you calling in from Japan and waking up 2 hours before the live stream was supposed to be on because you thought we were actually an hour faster than we were.
Yeah, that was my bad.
It's okay. We forgive you.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. Appreciate
It was a blast. We can't wait to have you on again. Jin, you're okay. I appreciate you.
That's
And
hurtful.
you're welcome. At least I'm honest. And for everyone new and old, welcome and welcome back. It's your boy Lohali, and I will see you next video.